On behalf of the WA State Futsal Centre, Player and Profile, thank you very much for inviting us into your home and for taking the time to have a chat with us. First question, is English your first language?
No. Coming from Brazil, my first language is Portuguese. I lived in Italy for a bit, so I also speak Italian. And English, it's my third language, I'd say.
So this is your third language?
Yes.
You speak fantastic English, consider it's your third language.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your childhood, where you're from in Brazil, what city you're from, and tell us a little bit about growing up in Brazil.
I'm from São Paulo. I was born in São Paulo, in Brazil. I lived there until I was 18 years old. My childhood there, I pretty much played soccer, futsal. Used to go to a club after school pretty much every day, as far as I can remember. I just used to meet my friends there and play the whole day. Sometimes a bit of ping pong. So I actually can play a bit of ping pong, not a bad player. And football too.
Oh yes. So with Sao Paulo, is it a large city? Or in relation to say somewhere like Perth, where you are now, how does it relate? Is it a large city or industrial city or?
São Paulo is massive. So size-wise, I think would be similar to Perth. It's a big city, but population-wise, São Paulo has got 20 million people. Which is pretty much the same population of whole Australia. Traffic, people everywhere, buildings everywhere. It's like they call it concrete jungle. That's how it's called. So it's quite busy. That big difference to Perth.
So growing up there, was your family, with mum, dad, siblings? How many people are in your family?
I've got both parents are alive. They were always close to us. I have two brothers as well. One is 9 years older than me, and another one is 3 years, which we were pretty close. We used to play a lot. Like I used to I was always the youngest one, so I got, how you call it? Beat quite a lot.
Got beaten. Yes.
Got beaten quite a lot.
Yes, being the youngest child, that happens a lot.
But I learned my lesson and kept quiet for a while and stopped getting beaten.
Did you find you played much with your brother, particularly your youngest brother, closer to your age, a lot, with football or futsal or whatever you're playing as growing up?
Yes. My Lucas, he taught me how to play. Like when I was 5-6 years old, he used to get me to playing goals, so he could kick a lot. Like he would kick the ball as hard as he could, and all right, go Victor, save it. Yeah. And that's how I started playing. That's how I, and now it's actually something that I miss is playing with him.
Do you see much of your brother these days?
Unfortunately not. They both live, my whole family lives in Wales now. I got to see them a few months ago in Brazil. I'm actually getting a bit but I don't see them as often as I would like to.
No. Do you find that hard? You're in Perth now, so just jumping forward a little bit for now. Do you find it hard being away from your family and not having that, day-to-day contact with them, or does Facebook and other communications make it a little easier for you?
I talk to them once a week. I never had problems, to be honest, because I've always kept myself busy. So as I've got a real busy life, I never stopped and think about it. Oh, I miss them. But we had such a great time in Brazil, the whole family together, that when I stop and think about it, I get quite emotive. So then you
must have found it very hard to come back home to Perth after that trip then.
Again, I've got my tactics to not think about it.
Yes.
But yeah, it would be great to have them around.
When you were growing up, would you say that you were a sporty kid? Not so much interested in school or...
100%. Basically, because I was always playing a high level there, we had competitions on every single public holidays. We missed out on a lot of family events just because I had games, and me and my older brother as well. So always playing since I can remember, since I was 8, every single weekend games, during the week as well. When I was in school, during recess, we would go straight to the courts. Sometimes we weren't allowed to have a ball. The teacher used to take the ball out of us, so we would get anything, like any rubbish on the ground. We would just play, and then after school, my mom used to take me to the club, do a swimming lesson. Then after swimming lesson, meeting my friends over there. All right, let's do something, play. And after playing, we would have our training session as well. So it would be every day, all day, non-stop.
Do you think growing up like that and just having that dedication, without even knowing you were having that dedication, has made you into the sort of sportsman that you are today?
Yes. I think the passion, like that, developed such a passion inside me that within that I just love the sport, and I would do whatever I can to get other people to have the same feeling that I have about the sport, because it's so nice. That's how I lived my whole life.
So thinking back in those days of your happy days as a child growing up, what would be your happiest memory that can come to mind?
Going to Disneyland. That was nice.
I think that's everybody's kid.
Yeah.
Every kid's dream growing up. They wish they could go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So you went to America and you went to Disneyland.
Yeah, when I was 7.
That's fantastic.
Had my whole family there as well, my grandparents as well. So it was nice. I think that's a great memory I have.
So thinking back then, for your childhood memory, your happiest memory was going to Disneyland. Did that take you back when you went there for the World Futsal Championship as an adult?
It's a great question, because when I went there, I remember, like, we played the competition. I remember watching the fireworks by myself, and I remember, as it was yesterday, going back to the time I was there with my family, and like just reviving that memory. Oh, it was really nice. Great experience.
That must have been almost a surreal experience for you, having a memory as a young child, a young Brazilian child, who's now having an experience as an Australian adult over playing futsal in America. That must have been just almost mind-blowing, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think what made really extra special was the fact that we were representing Australia there. Obviously, futsal has taken me around the whole world, and being there, specifically in Disney, through football, where I could actually revive those memories, linking all these things together, it was like that was a very special moment for me. Like what futsal brought to me, where it's taken me, and the opportunities it's given me. I could see clearly what the sport gave me. I was very ambitious. Like when I was growing up as a player, I wanted to be part of the Brazilian national team. I wanted to have a personal sponsor. I wanted to. I could see myself doing that for the whole life. Like to be honest, I wanted to drop school to be a soccer player. That was all I could think of. Like that was my dreams. Every single wish like when you blow your candles in your birthday, every single wish was to become a professional player. Then the day I actually achieved the first goal, which was going to Italy and play there, I was like, all right, I'm doing okay. Like I didn't get as far as I wanted to, but I think I accomplished a lot in my life with futsal.
So you've mentioned Italy. So how old were you when you went to Italy?
18.
18 years old. So would it be fair to say that was one of the first times that you left your parents and your safe family home and you went over to live in another country? Or
to live overseas, yes, that was the first time, but played quite a few competitions in Brazil where I didn't have my parents with me, but yeah.
That must have been a rather daunting thing for a young 18-year-old. And I know when you're 18 you don't think you're young, but, you know, looking back, you know, as you know, you are. So how was it? How was it for you to go up there and to virtually start this part of your life in Italy?
That was a life-changing opportunity. I initially went there. I was still trying to pursue a soccer career. I had agents, and once I arrived in Italy, I couldn't contact these agents anymore, couldn't find them anymore, didn't know where they were. So then I stayed in this futsal club, which I had a friend playing over there. Then as soon as I got there, I got my first personal sponsor. But that actually led me to believe to behave as the best player. So I was behaving, acting, I was quite cocky, and that made me realize that I shouldn't be like that anymore, and that made me change as a person as well. So I think this whole experience being 18, going to a different country and achieving certain things made me see a different side of like, okay, no matter how good you are, you have to respect everyone and you have to be humble and have people on your side. You can't just play the cocky, say you're the best and expect things to be given to you.
Was that something you realised at the time or something you realised later on in life of your experience back then?
It took me about 8 months since I went to 8 months since I arrived in Italy. I realized how people were going away from me because of my behavior. So then I started thinking on my own attitudes, and I realized, I really need to change. I must change my personality, otherwise I'm not gonna have friends.
And I guess too, solitude will bring that about because you're on your own. And if you obviously go there, you want to make friends and make new experiences. And if you're starting to alienate the people, that would make you feel even more distant and more alone. So I guess that would probably be in some way a survival technique to think, look, I want to be liked and I want to be a part of this. Well, that's really quite profound to be able to realise that and come to the conclusion as an 18-year-old, because the maturity of an 18-year-old really isn't there yet. So to me that speaks something about the maturity you have as a young person and then why you are the way you are today. So that's interesting. You've touched on soccer, and of course as a kid growing up, we call it soccer in Australia because obviously what's known as football here is Australian rules, so we'll call it soccer. You've touched on that growing up. So the obvious question has to be asked, and a lot of people ask it, and you know it. Why then didn't you just keep pursuing soccer? Why go to futsal?
I did keep pursuing it. I had about 3 to 5 different agents. I've been done over by most of them, and then futsal was actually like life was showing me, okay, you have to go this way. This way is not working, you gotta go this way. That was futsal to me. And then I realized that I was about 21, 22. Then I just, okay, forget about soccer, now focus on futsal.
You seem to show a lot of what we consider to be gut instinct. How important is it to you to rely on your own instinct and to trust in your own judgment of yourself and what's better for you?
Well, you gotta see the signs. Like in my case, I always tried to look on my future. Like, okay, if I keep pursuing this and I don't reach it, how I'm gonna live my life in 5 years' time? I gotta be realistic here. Like, what's the outcome? So again, like I believe I'm the best player. But if I don't get the opportunity to show that I'm the best player, what's gonna happen with me? Here, like in futsal, things people give me the value, give me more value. So I'll probably go this way, where I might have more opportunities to show that I'm a quality player. So that's what I always done, and not just in futsal or soccer, in life in general. Like, you gotta see, like, sometimes you wanna be something, but it's not happening. Should you keep pursuing your whole life and not get the results, or you should just, all right, let's just change it. Let's see what's out there. Like, my life is not gonna be that bad if I don't go this way. I can change my way. Why not? Adapt. I was playing in Italy. I was playing for a good team. Then I had this little problem that's called osteoris pubis. It was quite painful. Started treating. Didn't get much better. Got transferred to another club. The coach didn't know about it. So I wanted to show to the coach, okay, I'm good. Kept forcing. The problem became even worse. It got to a stage where I just couldn't play anymore because it was really painful. Sometimes I couldn't get dressed and undressed, and my partner, Jadish, used to help me to put my clothes on. So then I go, okay, can't keep going like this. I'll have to quit, like stop for a bit and try to recover. Went back to Brazil to treat it. 6 months later, still in pain. It wasn't as sharp, but still in pain. Didn't get great offers to go back, like salary wasn't great. All right, I'll change my life. Signs, going back to the signs. The signs are telling me to do a different thing. My brother was living in Perth. He goes, okay, come.
Is this
Come
Lucas?
Yes, Lucas. Come live with me. Let's find a job here. Let's see. Live here for a while and let's go. Okay, I'll try.
What made you want to stay in Perth?
It took me less than a month to realize I want to live in this place. Like, life here was so good. For the first time I had a job that wasn't related to sport. I was working, I was having fun. People here are friendly, which relates me to Brazil. So like, that was a good thing. Like, even though my English wasn't the best, it's still not great, but people were trying to talk to me. People were trying to teach me, showing me different things, being curious about my life. And all right, like, I like this. And plus the beach, and yeah.
What was the first job you did when you got to Perth?
As I said, at that stage I had decided to not play anymore. I needed the money. I arrived in Australia with $150 in my pocket. Just went on Scarborough Beach Road, going to every single car dealer, just asking for a car wash job. And I got it in the first day. For you to be seen, you gotta be playing. It's a funny feeling that I just love it, especially for finals. It just pumped me up. I don't know what happens, just so happy. I hardly get nervous for a game, I just get pumped up. When I'm going to the games, when I sit on the car, I put these specific songs, which I'm not gonna say which one is it, I prefer not to, but it's sad songs, but just pumps me up. When I get to the center, I like to see the crowd. I specifically like to see the kids that are there to watch, because I see the smile on their faces to see me there, to be involved in the atmosphere. I think a lot of players get really nervous in important games because they think like, oh my god, I can't screw up in front of these people. There's a lot of people. I actually take it the other way. I go, wow, these people are here. They are here to watch us. We need to put a show. We need to do our best. That's what I keep thinking. Go, cannot disappoint them.
You seem to be a fair player. I don't think I've seen you take a cheap shot?
Like everything in life, I treat people the way I want it to be treated. In a game, I know the opposition wants to win. They will come hard for the ball. As soon as that person goes dirty, I don't want to be treated like that. So why should I treat someone else like that? So I go hard because I want to win, but never dirty. I don't want to get anyone injured. I coach kids. I want these kids, like I know a lot of kids look up to me. I don't want them to learn the bad things. I want to be a role model, a proper good role model.
So it's not a win at all cost mentality?
No, definitely not. One of the goals is to see the league in WA growing and a national league in Australia growing and be part of that, play the league. And the main goal, my target is playing for Australia and playing a World Cup. My goal is to represent this country that gave me so much. I honestly feel I'm home now, and thank you everyone for making me feel this way. I really remember every single person that helped me in these 5 years, and it's been great. Cheers.